PYTCH, we create experiences and deliver messages to people all over the world. And as part of that, we get to work with some amazing equipment. In this series, I'm going to do box openings of all the new toys and equipment that turns up at PYTCH HQ, so I hope that I can share the joy of this new equipment with everyone on the web. So today, we've just had delivery of the Astera Titan tubes. These are a battery-powered LED tube, completely wireless, much like the light drops I've got around me now. I'm really excited about this product because it's going to allow me to do loads of different stuff with outdoor lighting where there's no mains power, TV lighting, effect lighting, and also use it for eye candy. So let's start opening the boxes. So Astera, they're a European company and they specialize in battery-powered and wireless lighting equipment. I'm a huge fan of their gear. We've been using the light drops for years, and now finally we've had a use case where we need to get in these Titan tubes. And in the first box, we have some power cables. So I gather this is actually to send data and power down, but to my eye, it looks like a normal 12-volt plug. In fact, had someone else made one of these videos, I could have established that already and not bought some rather expensive and very specialist cables. So let's put that to one side and see what's in the next box. What's in this one? Today, we have the finger scissors. No meat cleaver, no kitchen knife. Okay, so inside this box here, it's pretty plain. It's a plain brown box, very typical of professional equipment. We don't need fancy retail boxing. Then, plastic case, presumably to protect this IP-rated Pelly style case. It's not a Pelly case, but it looks like one. Feels nice, rubber handle, catches here. Let's see what's inside. So in here we've got some foam and what appears to be a wireless DMX transmitter. Now this is actually CRMX, which is not the same as WDMX. I think there's 4 or 5 protocols now, and this is the one that Astera choose to use. So here's a transmitter. It looks like it takes USB power, or it might even be battery. 2 aerials and what looks like a belt clip. Also in here we have the components for the power supply. That's a US, European and UK bit of plastic to attach to the wall warts. Now the way these work, I think, is that you lock it on. Yeah, twist and lock like that, and it's basically a USB power supply. Then here we've got a micro USB cable, presumably to charge it and or power it. I would hope this has got a battery in it, but we'll find out in a moment. And we've also got a 5-pin XLR and a 3-pin TRS plug. Presumably that's going to be for our DMX to go in. Now at PYTCH, we've always worked to a 3-pin DMX. A lot of companies use 5-pin. There's a long reason for that. It goes back to in the early days of lighting, they were going to use the 2 spare pins and the 5-pin to send back data on the lights. Never really happened. So in most professional applications, people are only actually using 3 pins of XLR. And because we do a lot of audio as well, we thought, you know what, we can use mic cable for this. Been criticized a lot for it, but I've produced arena shows using mic cable for DMX. It works fine, and it makes your life a lot easier. So we'll be getting this, snipping it off, putting a 3-pin XLR on it, or we might put an adapter on so that when other companies use this, they can use their 5-pin infrastructure. Anyway, I digress. That is the transmitter box. Nicely cased, pre-cut CNC foam, really good stuff. Let's put that to one side and look at the next box. So this is where it gets interesting. This is the actual Titan tubes, which is what we've ordered here, which again, I might have mentioned, quite excited about this and the creative opportunities this is going to lend us in terms of our outdoor events or when there's no grid power. Right, so brown box, bit of foam to protect it, and this Pelly style IP case is in a plastic bag, which is fine. Just going to drag this out. Okay, so straight off the mark, it's pretty heavy. I'd say that's about 20 kilos, so okay, but not light. Okay, let's put this on the table here. Yeah, it's heavy. This is not lightweight stuff, but still quite manageable. Okay, most of the Astera stuff uses the same case with these red handles and the little red catches here, which is kind of good because amongst their sea of Pelly cases on site, you can spot where the Astera stuff is. So I'm going to flick that open and behold what's inside. Okay, so the top lid is very heavy because that's where the actual tubes are. So as I lifted that up, I felt like it was going to flip over backwards, but not quite. However, I would be careful about taking stuff out of the bottom because that might fall backwards. So what have we got in here? Lots of exciting stuff. Now there'll be a name for that, and often with accessories, I don't know what they're called. But what that'll be for is to screw into the tube and then to attach onto things like a tripod or the ground stands. These things as well. These are rigging mounts to allow it to attach to something like a half coupler, then attach the light tube to a piece of truss or onto a handrail or whatever. There's quite a few of them in there. I'm liking the layout here as well, because if I take one thing out, it's very obvious that it's missing. So if you're doing a dark D-rig at an event or in a theatre and something's missing, you know on site, rather than get back to your warehouse and find this thing's missing. So that's good, that's good. We also have these devices. I guess this is a floor stand. That's nice, I like that. Little design details matter, hey, because when I pull this out, each of the legs locks into position, so it's quite ergonomic. And if you were knocking out, say, 50 of these on a show, those little details really would matter rather than having to line it up manually for every single tube. So that's good. What else have we got? There's a small compartment to the side here where there's a bunch of kind of, not quite an R-clip, but similar to an R-clip. Now, I don't know what they're for yet, but I'm sure we'll find out shortly. I like how that foam there fits inside the other piece of foam and acts a bit like a lid. That's quite a nice design feature. These people are clearly masters of foamery. Okay, we've also got a TrueCon connector here to a 13-amp plug. I'm going to presume this is for the power. Yes, it is. So that's going to go in there, clip in, and power into mains. Now that's one slight criticism actually, because with these kind of things, you normally want to be able to charge them with the case closed. So it would be nice if the TrueCon connector was on the side, so you could close the case and plug it in. But you know what? We can always modify that ourselves. Put a TrueCon on the side, an adapter cable through, and then we can charge them with the case locked, or even in transit. Okay, so in the top here, these are the tubes themselves. Like I said, take the top ones first, because if we took the bottom, the whole case might flip over, and that's just really annoying. Okay, on the side here, this is one of those, I think it's 12 volt, power connector, which is charging up the tube. So how does it feel? It feels quite heavy. It feels solid. I think it's either polycarbonate or acrylic. It's got a nice weight to it, nothing rattling. Good aluminium ends with a thread there for a hook. And at this end, another thread as well. Then we've got this little side screen here. So let's turn this on. Hold down the power button. We start up and go to a kind of pinky red color. This is nice. Now, without using any wireless DMX, I'm just going to play the menus and see what we can get this thing to do. Okay, input select, detecting, input select, no. Static color, enter. Red, custom color, index color. Right, white, 6500 Kelvin, enter. Okay, so we're at 6500 Kelvin white. Now, this is being filmed on a Canon 5D and a Canon C300. So one camera is, you know, good quality conceal, one's kind of like mid-level cinema type camera. So you can see how well that light looks on camera. I'm told the CRI, I think it was 96 or 98, which is really, really high color rendition. But you can, judge for yourself on the camera there. Okay, it turns out there's another layer of accessories beneath this foam that I didn't spot before. Here we go. This is interesting. Okay, we have some additional adapters. That is just a eye bolt, which presumably is for safety bonds to go into the top of the tube. So I'll put that to one side for now. So we have more floor stands. Okay, so this does attach straight into there. Okay, that's good. That's nice, that's a nice design. Now I can plonk it down. That's really good actually. Now in terms of fast deployment, and that's one of the things you'll use this kit gear for, you want to be able to get stuff out and put it straight into position. I don't think these can be stored with the bases on them. Actually, it looks like they might be able to. So if we're doing a show we're going to set up really quick, like the sort of London museums where you've got like half an hour to set up a massive show, these could maybe be stuck in the case with the stands on them. Overall, I'd say this is fantastic gear, and I'm seeing it being used for lighting for film, eye candy, special effects, even floor lights for fast deployment shows. I see these being a major part of our lighting inventory here and one of the go-to fixtures we're going to use for loads of our different projects. This is exciting stuff. Thank you so much, Astera. Really good equipment, and congratulations on some really out there creative design work you've done on this product.